What's up, good people? Yeah, it's your boy, Mr. Woe Fragrances. This is Woe Fragrance Reviews. And what we do here is we try to help you rethink that stink. We debunk that funk. Y'all know what it is. We tell you about all the new or old, all the great colognes and perfumes that's going to help you keep it breezy and make your woman want to get sleazy. No, but real talk, man. I'm just always here to put y'all up on some new colognes, maybe some new fashions. You know what I'm saying? I always got my frames rocking. We're going to pull them out the way for a second. Yeah, so this, as you've seen in the thumbnail, is me discussing some new fragrances I got and doing a weekly review, basically the new fragrances I got. I wore one of each this week, so I'm gonna tell you how they performed, how they smelled, of course, and whether I think you should check them out. So I ain't got no neat little promo to throw in there right now, so we just gonna jump right into it. So I got a couple of fragrances this last weekend when I was on vacation. Stopped into, I always like to do a cheapy haul when I go into say a Ross, Marshalls, TJ Maxx, places like that, Burlington, and happened to find a Marshalls where I was. So I stepped in there and they didn't have a lot, but they had some things that I had heard about that I hadn't got my hands on. And so, yeah, I saw them and I went ahead and grabbed them. First one on the list is Homme by Usher. So yeah, this thing here was like $14.99 or something like that. So I was like, why not for 50 ml? I had heard some pretty good things. I like the first Usher. It has that, nice springtime scent, maybe fall. I guess you can get away with the summer because a lot of people can compare it to green Irish tweed with the violet leaf and the little smell it has to it. But as you can see, it's just a plain white box. Usher didn't do much for the presentation. Here's the bottle. Neat little design here. Cap does not click into place, but it's snug on there. So yeah, I wore this on Monday. I'll show you the atomizer. It's decent. And it is a very, well, I guess I don't need that cap right now. It is a very decent fragrance. It opens right up with this sweetness, yet this spicy warmth. Like you would almost, when you initially smell it, be like, okay, this could be a winter fragrance or whatever, but it definitely will work in the fall. It's very aromatic. Fragrantica here, it says it's a warm, spicy, aromatic, fresh, spicy, woody, musky. So yeah, it was brought to us and launched in 2018. The top notes are saffron, apple, cardamom, mandarin orange, with a middle note, rosemary, geranium, jasmine, ginger, with a base of tonka, musk, woodsy notes, and ambroxan. As you can see, the things that jump right out to me that lets you know that this should be a good fragrance is the saffron. A lot of them use apple and cardamom. I don't get much rosemary because, it has a greenness about it, but not a heavy greenness. You know what I'm saying? The geranium gives a little minty freshness. And I can get that ginger because it has a ever so slightly effervescence about it that it definitely is inviting. You know what I'm saying? This is something that is cheap, so you can really spray it on. It's not going to be offensive. I wore it to work, which is a good place for a scent like this. There's sweetness coming from that tonka bean is definitely prevalent right from the beginning to me. It's not it's ambroxan in there, but not where it feels like a blue type fragrance like your Sauvages, your Dylan Blues, and stuff like that. Don't really put you in mind of that, but I will say it is a great fragrance for this time of year to me. Definitely spring. It's almost an anytime fragrance. You can do it in the summer. I wouldn't wear it like in the heat of the day. It could be dressed up some actually. Definitely worn possibly on a date. You know what I'm saying? Close proximity. It doesn't project heavy. You can get some mild projection for at least the first hour. I will say it did decently as far as how long it lasted. It gave me a good, I would say, 6 hours for for a kind of fresh scent that was pretty good, and especially for $14.99, I couldn't really beat that. So yeah, I would definitely recommend if you see this in a rack store to pick it up, check it out, and that is Usher by Homme by Usher. Y'all know what I'm talking about. The next one I seen, I have been hearing people talk about this fragrance line. If you're in the community and everything, for those of y'all who are new to fragrances, and some of my um, followers or whatever that's watching this that may be probably be new to fragrances, don't watch all the things on YouTube in the fragrance community. You've never heard of this, but um, it is a very cheap brand that you can find in Walmart and Target and places like that. And that brand is Cremo. So I hear they have several of these out that I haven't gotten my nose on. There's one that's black vanilla and spice notes or whatever they say smells like Spice Bomb from Victor and Rolf. That would be interesting to find and everything. But out of the three I've seen there, this is the one that kind of intrigued me the most. This one is called Sandalwood and Suede. But what kind of intrigued me with it made me want to try it out because on the box, it'll show you the three notes. They're saying there's only three notes in here, and it's on the box, which I don't have the box, which was not important. But the top note was fig leaf, middle note sandalwood, base note of suede. And right off the bat, I'm like, you can't go wrong with suede, suede or sandalwood. And hey, I've been wanting to try some fragrances with fig in it. Sorry, I can't talk. But anyway, let's give a little bit of a presentation. For it to be so cheap, the bottle is fairly neat. Y'all excuse my nails. Fairly neat. This is embedded in and even on the side. Kind of reminds me of the Salvatore Uomo scents with that on the side like that. Atomizer, that's a good atomizer for $12.99, which is what I paid for this. And I've heard about them being in Walmart and Target for like $19.99. So if you're in Marshalls or somewhere and you catch this for $12.99, you might want to pick it up. So in the air, right off the bat, you get that fig that gives it a fruity yet creamy touch. There's some freshness about this, something kind of a warm, spicy as well, but you want to say there's maybe some citrus in this, even though it gives it three notes. So the citrus feeling is definitely coming from that fig leaf. I'm not sure if this is even on Fragrantica. I'll go see if it's on here and if they compare it to anything. Since, a lot of times when they start hyping stuff, you may can find them on here. So the Cremo, we may be in luck. How can I see? Let's see, Sandalwood. Nah, it's not gonna be on here. But anyway, so I wore this on Tuesday. I wore it to work also. Like I said, it definitely has a freshness about it. It has a creaminess. It's it smells very well done for the price, y'all. It's not gonna say it's niche smelling, but I like it. You have that little bit of leather nuisance giving it some depth with the suede. It's not like a heavy leather. Like some people can't really stand leather. My wife don't care for it at all. And she told me this smelled okay, but I knew she said okay because she must have gotten a hint of the leather that's in here. So yeah, she wasn't the biggest fan of it, but it is what it is. I definitely enjoyed it. Um, did anyone did I get a compliment on? I mean, I went around a lot of people. No one really said anything. It was gonna probably take a few more wearings, but I feel like this one, it's not a heavy projector either, but I could smell it on me for, at least the first few hours. It was a skin scent after then. Like if I tested, it was still there. So it gave me about as just as good a performance as the Homme by Usher. I would say another one that was like 6 hours or so, which is pretty good. Again, this one is good for this time of year as well. Or fall, summer, winter. I don't think it's going to perform as good because it's just not enough sweetness. The sandalwood and suede in there. If you spray it pretty heavy, I ain't gonna say you couldn't make it in the wintertime or a date night fragrance or something, but for the price, this Cremo, Sandalwood, and Suede, it's pretty doggone good. Pretty doggone good. All right, so the next one that I of my recent haul that I wore this week, put it on a Wednesday, and just so y'all know, I'm giving y'all the cheapies first. So I mean, everybody always looking for good cheapies and everything, and this one is somewhat on that list. So not long ago, I introduced some of you and reintroduced some others to this right here. The one that was hyped up for a long time with the neat bottle, the ultraviolet red, with the blood orange and the vanilla, the tonka, all that good stuff that makes it smells like ultra zest, as they say. I've never smelled tiramisu ultra zest, but this is what I rock with. So that one came out in 2005. So when I found out it actually had a predecessor that came out in 2001, I had to go check it out. And if you have any idea what I'm talking about, then you already know where I'm going with this. And that is none other than Ultraviolet by Paco Rabanne. Ultraviolet Man. Now, this goes a bit of a different direction than the Ultraviolet Red. Ultraviolet Red is definitely a fall wintertime fragrance that you can pull off in spring as well. I actually spoke on it being a transitional fragrance not long ago from, your winter to spring. But this one here, it has some green nuances to it. It's aromatic. To me, definitely great for springtime and even in the summer because it's a fresh, spicy. I'll give you the notes here. It actually came out in 2000. Yeah, it's like I said, 2001. The top notes on this are mint and amber, followed by vetiver, pepper, and spicy notes in the mid, with a base of oak moss and vanilla. So I mean, those are some pretty good notes you hear right there. You can't, this the vetiver in here definitely. You know how that sprayer goes. Right off the top, you get that minty freshness and a little bit of sweetness from the amber, and that spiciness. It doesn't say what spicy notes are in there, but it has pepper in there for one, giving it that little kick. But I kind of feel like there may be some cinnamon in there, just a touch or something like that. The oak moss is not heavy. A lot of people when they hear oak moss, they think kind of a oody smell or whatever. It's not like that. It does give it a little bit more of the greenness. That minty freshness, though, that just screams springtime and summertime. This right here, it doesn't project as good as the Ultra Red, but it does. This is something that will get you compliments. I've heard it compared to Bond Number 9's Bleecker Street, which I never smelled, and I've also heard it compared to Ralph Lauren's Purple Label. Now, if it smells anything like those, you're really doing good right here because you can get this right now on like fragrance.net or something like that for around $40, which I mean, it's not a cheapy, but you may can get it with, little discounts for around $36 to $40, which is good for this 100 ml. And I'm still smelling it right now. Like I said, it's aromatic and it lingers in the air. Definitely a good pickup. Just to have this bottle along with that bottle made it worth it for me. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, those are two that you definitely can check out. So next up, all right, we get into the big time designers right now. For those of you who may not be up to speed on this brand, this is a line that does a job of trying to take you somewhere. The smell is supposed to take you back like what's the word I'm looking for? Nostalgia somewhere or something. So, I'm not trying to get the suspense. This is from the Replica line, y'all. I got add these to my collection. Someone actually hooked me up right here. This one is no other than Replica Coffee Break, if you couldn't see, which I must say, give me 1 minute. I'm gonna give you all the notes and everything on this. There we go. And that Paco Rabanne is still lingering, y'all. So check out the presentation if you've never seen these before. It's a cloth label. Got your little strings around the top there. It's pretty simplistic, yet it works, like really works. So this says coffee break, Stockholm 2007, a creamy, cozy coffee. It's what it's supposed to smell like. So, decent atomizer. When you first spray it, do you get a coffee bean nuance that takes you straight to Starbucks? No, that's not what this is. What you really smell when you first spray this is kind of a lavenderish smell. I mean, like it's a spicy, let's see what they call it. Yeah, it says lavender and first thing, coffee, vanilla, lactonic, warm, spicy. You get all of that. You get all of that. Now, I'm just gonna let you know the coffee in here can be compared to some of the other ones that has coffee in it. They don't really use, like I said, a coffee bean note. This is more of a cappuccino-ish, sweet coffee. You know what I'm saying? Somebody who puts a lot of French vanilla creamer in their coffee. Think more on those lines. So, top notes are pepper, orange blossom, and patchouli. Now, am I smelling patchouli fresh off the bat? No, maybe more the orange blossom. You get maybe a hint of that freshness when you first spray it, but it does not last long. Like I said, the lavender is right there from the jump because you have notes in here of milk, tonka bean, benzoin, cypriol oil. I have no clue what that is, but the tonka bean and benzoin definitely gives you that sweetness on top. It is a very, very pleasant fragrance with a vanilla, cedar, and vetiver base. Now, the vetiver in here to me is more of a chocolatey type vetiver smoothness, not a earthy or woody. I don't really get much woods from this. It's a nice sweet type fragrance. Now, this would probably be considered definitely fall, springtime, nighttime occasions. It's sweet, but the longevity of it in projection, I mean, you're not going to fill a room at a club or in the wintertime. It's a nice skin sip. Somebody's going to be close. This works. You know what I'm saying? I enjoy it. Now, I saw a few people talking about it like it was something that was kind of not done so much or groundbreaking. Let me tell you that this is very familiar when I smelled it. And I'm going to show you what it was very familiar of. If anybody's familiar with this weird bottle here, you know that is Rochas Man that has that cappuccino. Is one of the notes in here that's more prominent. People compare it to smelling like pancakes because of the sweetness and everything. But it also has a lot of lavender and stuff like that. When I sprayed this on one hand and that coffee break on the other, it is very similar. Now, is it a one-to-one? No. This is cheaper than that, though. So if you wanted something that's like a niche coffee break scent or whatever, this is kind of redundant. So Rochas Man, very similar to Replica Mason Margiela coffee break. All right, getting a little lengthy, so I'm going to go ahead and give y'all this last one. I was really doing it at work wearing this right here. None other than the boss of them all, Replica's Mason Margiela Jazz Club, if you couldn't see it. Jazz Club, yes. Jazz Club says, Brooklyn 2013, a heady cocktails and cigar scent. Now, you initially think you're going to get a smokiness, Jazz Club, that's going to be some smoky scent and everything. But let me say, this is a great fragrance, but don't think it's just going to be that kind of tobacco heavy. Like when people tell you that it's, you can get the tobacco right off the bat and all that kind of stuff, it's a different type of tobacco than something. It's not a red tobacco type tobacco. It's not Dolce Gabbana the one type tobacco. You know what I'm saying? It's not that sweet pipe tobacco type. It's a different type of tobacco. So if you're used to that, then it's not to me. Now, what I get from this is definitely I get the boostiness of the rum up top. Jazz club. You're drinking, sipping the rum and everything. I definitely get that. Top notes of pink pepper, neroli, lemon. When this first opens up, I get a hint of that neroli and a little bit of citrus. It bounces real well with a rum. It's like you got a rum with a lemon on the side of it or something. Maybe it's just for decoration, but when you drink it, you can smell the lemon and all that. That works. It has Java, vetiver, clary sage, and it says tobacco leaf, vanilla bean, and styrax. Like I said, this is a great fragrance for wintertime, fall, early spring. Other than that, save it for date nights or something like that. If you're going to the club in the summertime, maybe so. Don't spray it on heavy. You don't want to choke nobody out. But Jazz Club is definitely that guy. So, hey, I hope y'all have enjoyed this. Me giving y'all a little take. This is my weekly rundown. I'm gonna do these here pretty often. Yeah, this has a scent trail too. Jazz Club will leave a scent trail. You'll walk by. If you're in the clubs, you're gonna be like, "Who's that? Did you smell him?" That guy right there. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, all that. Comment. I'll talk to y'all on the next one.